look, the Raiders are not going to be able to trade him and get an asset for him with that injury guarantee coming up. So I'm almost positive that they will end up cutting him, and then he will get to pick his next team, which he's earned the right to do. He's been a loyal soldier for the Raiders organization, and he should be able to pick his next destination. Although you can kind of technically do that in a trade situation, it's a little bit more complicated. But again, I think it's moot because they're not going to want to no team's going to want to take on that contract. So the Jets, I think, I mean, look, it's self-explanatory. They'll also probably be in the market for Jimmy G, but I think they should pursue Carr instead. I think the upside with Carr is better. And Jimmy G, we're seeing what's happening in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan can turn a potted plant into a starting quarterback. How much do we know that it is Jimmy G who has been successful, and how much is it the system? I mean, we're also seeing that Brock Purdy has changed the way the offense looks. There's way less hospital balls over the middle, which is what Jimmy G loves to throw. Now that Purdy's in the offense, and that would scare me if I was a team trying to give him a contract. So the Jets, I think, are the number one trade destination possibility for Derek Carr. Number two, the Washington Commanders. Derek Carr's former MAGA January 6er apologist former head coach Jack Del Rio is the defensive coordinator there. Maybe he's speaking to Ron Rivera, saying, I really like this guy. That there's a real possibility there. We'll see how Carson Wentz plays in the final part of the season, but it's just time to kind of abandon the Carson Wentz experiment, I think, now that he's on his third team and the problems still seem to be the same. He could also end up with the Saints, Derek Carr, but I know that they've done cap magic every offseason. I don't know how they're going to be able to work it out this year. And their whole team is getting really old, and they should be rebuilding. They should be in the running for the first overall pick, in my opinion, if Sean Payton doesn't get back in 2024. Maybe they'll get Caleb Williams. I mean, that would be a sight to see, right? That would be incredible. God, I wish there was a way the Giants could get him. Probably not. But I don't know why, if Derek Carr has options, he would go to the Saints, given the fact that they're a rebuilding team. Here's my dark horse candidate. The Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins don't need much at quarterback. And right now we're seeing their first round pick, Tua. He is struggling to stay on the field. He has the frame that would concern me if I were a Dolphins executive or member of the organization. It's shown that he can get injured pretty easily, let alone his concussion history, which is deeply, deeply concerning from a personal level. And then if you're looking at the cold-hearted investment level, I don't understand how you could feel good about investing in him long-term, given that. And then also, in my opinion, the fact that his play has been poor even before the recent concussion. The fact that there are a lot of people who could have success in that offense, given the way that guys are open in space, the two incredible receivers that offense has, and the way that defense is starting to play on that side of the ball. The Dolphins are stacked at every level. And so if he hears through back channels that maybe they'll bring him in and Tua is a bit on the outs, or they are not going to pick up that fifth-year option and they can keep him on the roster for cheap as a backup to Derek Carr, that would be my number one destination if I were Carr. I guess there's an off chance that the Titans would be interested, but my sense is that Vrabel likes Ryan Tannehill. So I don't really see that being the case.